You're watching the Midday News on TVC. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, has accused Lawal Daura of gross violation of Nigerian Constitution in Tuesday's barricade of the National Assembly by State Security Service operatives. In a preliminary report on the controversial incident prepared by Acting President Wale Oshinde on Wednesday, Idris said Daura was working for some politicians for selfish interest and did not name their accomplices. He said Daura did not consult with other security agencies before ordering the siege and questioned the validity of a security report that allegedly anticipated violence at the parliament. For more on these, I'm joined with me in the studio by a legal practitioner, Wale Oshinde. Thank you very much for finding time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
So someone has to take the fall, and it's Lawal Daura. But there are some who would say that the handwriting has been clear on the wall. There's been accusation of illegal detention, disobedience of court order. There was a time he was against the appointment of the acting DG of the EFCC. Would you say that the presidency ignored all these writings?
Absolutely. I mean, why would you leave him up till last week? Or I mean, was it this week? I mean, you should have fired him. If you had all of that in your bag, you were so sure that this guy is actually working against the tenets of the president, and then his instructions and all that, then you should have fired him. You should not have waited till he actually dealt a major blow, on the presidency before now trying to do what I call a collateral damage.
So I'm reading from the IGP's report, and it's saying it is crystal clear that the principal suspect, Lawal Musa Daura, may be acting the script of some highly placed politicians to achieve selfish political goals. And that's the talking point, that Daura couldn't have acted alone. Are you sure that we're going to get a name to these alleged selfish politicians?
So, and that's the problem that I have with our leaders, or with the powers that be in the country. You see, you should not wait to reveal the names of these people that you think is working for. I mean, and then how can you explain the fact that there is a report and the report is not substantiated with facts? You are still leaving rooms for doubts and speculations and what have you. You should not leave rooms at all at this point in time. You should be bold enough to mention the names of these people who are culpable in this act and in this circumstance. And so I think that we play too much of politics in this country, and then we always try to leave out the truth, and we leave room for speculations, and then we now continue to blame Nigerians, and you say that they are actually releasing fake news, and they are sharing fake news and what have you. See, tell the Nigerian people exactly what has happened, and tell the Nigerian people those who are culpable in the act. Simple. And make sure you bring them to justice.
I'm looking at the clips again, and thank God you're a lawyer. And there's this issue of masked men. We saw them during the previous election, not the latest one in Ekiti, but then the one before this last one. What's the legality behind having DSS operatives wearing hoods?
Well, I don't know about, should I say, I don't want to believe that there is anything legal or illegal about, wearing the hoods, as long as they want to act as undercovers. And then, I even want to believe that some of those hoods are actually bulletproof, if you ask me. And then they want to be sure that, okay, nobody is actually shooting, these operatives in the head and all that, and then they die off and all. So, but you see, the most important thing is that why should you lay a siege on the National Assembly in the first place? You see, forget about, in fact, ordinary police officers, the moment they are acting out of the context of protecting lives and security of lives and property, at the National Assembly complex, then they are there for ulterior motives. And as such, whether we are talking about the DSS or even ordinary police officers, as long as they are not acting, in good faith, to ensure that, yes, security of lives and property, are adequately protected, then they are doing something different from what they originally should do, and they have no business being there in the first place. So I really want to say that our presidency, has actually not taken the right step in this direction, save for the fact that the acting president has, of course, taken that very bold step to fire the DSS chief.
The acting president could also have acted alone. The presidency already notified us that this was a decision, a joint decision by both the acting president and Mr. President. But the question coming from many is, it appears the presidency has done its bit. The last time the SGF was sacked, we also saw the NIA boss sacked. Some would say that the agencies of government responsible for prosecuting should step in right now and do their jobs.
But you see, the thing is that the commanders to still come from the presidency. You're talking about the former secretary to the government of the federation. Has he been prosecuted? Is he in court?
That's what I'm saying. Is that the responsibility of Mr. President?
Yeah, absolutely. It is the responsibility of the president to ensure that justice is served. You see, the moment you take the bull by the horn and you want to hold people who are supposed to do those jobs accountable, to the Nigerian people, you should be able to ask them to come and see you, and then, of course, ask for the reports. And nobody's actually talking about all these things. Nobody's saying anything. Even the presidency is silent about all these things. You relieve somebody of his job. He's been accused of stealing and what have you, and embezzlement, and nobody has taken the proper steps to ensure that he faces, the law and all that, and then is brought to book, and nobody is actually asking for reports from, the Attorney General or, the department that is actually saddled with the responsibility of prosecuting all these people, and then we are talking about anti-corruption. We just jokers here.
It reminds us again of Obama's position about Africa, that what this continent needs are not strong men, but strong institutions.
Right.
I'm of the opinion that if the institutions were strong, we wouldn't need somebody to be told what it is they should do.
Right, but you see, I now want to ask this question. Who builds an institution? The leaders. It's a function of leadership, and that's the truth. We should not deceive ourselves. If the leader is seen to be accountable and is seen to be very, very upright, and then is, always holding people to account, then people who are manning the institutions in the land will sit up. And the moment you discover that this guy is not ready to do this job, you simply fire that guy, bring in another person who is willing to do the job. If this new guy is also not willing to do the job, fire him, make him face the music, appoint another fellow who can do the job, and that's it. At the end of the day, do not forget the boss stops on his desk. And then if he's not accountable to the Nigerian people, of course, he is going to bear the brunt.
Are you saying it's not likely Nigerians get to know who the real culprits are as regards to this incident?
If we continue like this, we are not likely to know. And that's the truth.
So you're being pessimistic?
Oh, no, well, it's not about that. But, if you are bringing a report to the table and you are not able to tell us in clear terms, and very quickly too, after your preliminary investigation, that look, it doesn't take so much to actually investigate this issue, and then it doesn't take so much to get the truth out there.
We had the national chairman of the APC earlier on the news saying that in a short while, the truth behind all of this will be reviewed. Let's be hopeful, and let's hope that we'll get some light in that direction. Legal practitioner Wale Oshinde, thank you very much for joining us
Thanks for having
on
me.
the news this